Will you start? Welcome everyone to today's TDL member forum. My name is Christy Park and I'm the executive director of the Texas Digital Library. My pronouns are she, her. I'm so glad that all of you have joined us today. As I welcome you to this shared virtual space, I want to first acknowledge the physical spaces from which we're all joining, all of us located on the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what now is called North America. TDL staff work fully remotely, and we're all joining from our own specific places in Texas and elsewhere. But I, along with several of our staff, joined from Austin and the Central Texas area, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their forcible removal. I invite you all to share your own land acknowledgements in chat if you'd like to. Here's our agenda for today. After some updates from me, we'll report out as usual on our services and projects, followed by a few community updates. We have a little bit different cast today. It'll just be me and Leah DeForest, our communications manager. Both Courtney Muma, our deputy director, and Elliott Williams, our DPLA service coordinator, who are commonly part of this presentation, are out today. So Leah and I will share updates on their behalf, and please bear with us as we're managing a few different sharing screens and managing the chat, but we'll do our best. Okay, so first off, I'm really pleased to let you know that an updated version of our Racial Equity Action Plan is available for you all to review and provide feedback on. Leah is going to provide a link to that in the chat box. The initial version of this plan was published in March of 2021 under the name TDL Anti-Racism Action Plan, and we've committed to updating it regularly, annually at minimum. This particular update was drafted primarily by myself and our Deputy Director, Courtney Muma, with extensive review and feedback from the TDL Governing Board. The plan represents our ongoing efforts to articulate the concrete measures that TDL commits to take in order to dismantle white supremacy within our organization and associated communities. Our goals aren't just to address inequities in our own staff organization and the broader consortium, although that's a large part of it, but to help transform practice and culture in the larger higher education and cultural heritage communities in which we operate. We've done our best to also hold ourselves accountable to goals that the organization set for itself in the initial version of this plan and report on where we've made progress or fallen short. And so now we invite all of you, our members and friends, to take a look at this new draft and provide your feedback to us. We ask you to do that by Friday, May 13th. There are a number of ways you can provide feedback to us. You can add comments directly in the Google Doc, and we hope you'll do that. But if you'd like to contact me directly with questions or concerns, you should feel free to do that as well, or use our anonymous feedback form. After the period of open comments, our executive team will review this feedback and incorporate it or respond to it where appropriate. Our goal is to release a final version of this updated document by the end of May, and hopefully at TCDL, which is towards the end of May. Speaking of which, I hope everybody's been polishing their juggling acts, digital or otherwise, for TCDL 2022, which is coming up in just a little over 1 month. If you haven't already done so, now is the time to register for this 100% virtual conference, which is happening May 23rd through 26th. Members with institutional funding can register for $25, but we have other discounted and even free options available. So please don't let funding keep you away from what's going to be a really fantastic event. I'm also excited to let you know that you can now view the program schedule for TCDL on Sched and begin planning out your conference experience. You can go there and you'll see all of our wonderful pre-conference events on Monday, May 23rd, followed by the start of the main conference sessions on Tuesday with Elaine L. Westbrooks as our keynote speaker. Westbrooks, as you probably remember, is the vice provost and university librarian at UNC Chapel Hill. And she's going to discuss the work that she and her libraries are doing to address systemic racism through their Reckoning initiative. I know we're all going to be inspired and challenged by what she has to say, and that we're all going to want to be there for that keynote. A couple of other notes about the program as you start digging into it. So we're starting each day with a low-key morning coffee at 9:15 where you can visit with colleagues. And during that morning coffee, there will be a breakout room available where you can go watch our posters playlist and meet with some of the poster presenters there. We're also keeping the lunch hour, 12 to noon, free of any session. So you'll have time to eat and relax and regroup before heading back into conference sessions. We're also using the hour after lunchtime on most days for special kind of virtual swag offerings. So instead of pens and notebooks, we're offering attendees what we hope will be some enriching and useful and hopefully fun experiences. So you'll see a creative writing session in there, one for learning how to juggle, even a financial literacy session. And on the day of the keynote, we're using that time slot as an opportunity for folks to gather and reflect on and discuss Elaine Westbrook's remarks. Finally, that final day of the conference, May 26th, is reserved for business meetings and some birds of a feather sessions related to our user groups and services. And throughout today's forum, we'll be kind of dropping in a few hints about what some of those birds of a feather sessions are going to be so that you can start getting excited for those. I do want to take a second here just to commend our wonderful TCDL program committee led by the amazing from A to Z Amanda Zarang at Texas Women's University and supported by Leah DeForest and Tao Botang from TDL for the really thoughtful and meticulous planning that they've put into this program to make it meaningful and unique. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping all of you are getting excited about it too. And finally, for those of you who are speaking at TCDL this year, you should be hearing from your session moderators very soon. So be on the lookout for emails from them so that they can help you get prepared for your session. Also, the TCDL Program Committee will be holding office hours on May 11th for all speakers to get oriented to Sched, which is our conference platform for this year. So mark your calendars for that. And finally, if you have a question and you just aren't sure how to get it answered, just email us at info@tdl.org and we'll get you squared away as much as we're able. So I know Leah's been posting a whole bunch of links in chat for you about this, but know that you can always start from the TDL website, tdl.org, and from there you can find everything you need and all the places you need to go when it comes to TCDL. Okay. So next, we're going to move into our services and projects updates, starting with Dspace repository hosting. Nick Woodward, our Dspace tech lead, is continuing work to migrate all of our hosted Dspace repositories to a new operating system in the Amazon cloud and a new hosting environment. We've been in communication with all of our repository managers about this maintenance, and we've completed the migrations for nearly 3/4 of our hosted repositories. We've got 4 remaining for this week and next week, 4 of our largest repositories. You can read more about the process if you'd like to and the schedule of migrations at the link that Leah will provide in chat. Just a reminder that during this migration project, we are putting a temporary hold on any kinds of customizations to Dspace repositories. So things like changes to the metadata in the item view or submission forms, et cetera, just so we can concentrate on completing these and we don't have a lot of competing work going on in the Dspace repositories. But we'll get back to those. If you have something on hold, we'll get back to those at the end of the project, which should be late this month or early May. We're also entering the final stages of our project to migrate the repository of our newest member, the University of Dallas, from Digital Commons into a TDL hosted open repository. We've tested that migration over the past few weeks, and we're going to begin the final production migration in the coming days. So we're excited about that. We hope to have that going live by May 2nd. And trainers from our Dspace user group will also be providing introductory Dspace training for our new University of Dallas colleagues this coming Friday. So big thank you to Adrienne Shapiro from Texas Women's and Charity Stokes from Texas A&M for leading that training session for their fellow members. And finally, just want to remind our Dspace users that the next meeting of the user group is Tuesday, April 26th. We're going to be discussing our upcoming Birds of a Feather session at TCDL. And I'm also going to provide some updates on Dspace 7 and report out on a survey of our Dspace users related to Dspace 7 features. So we hope you'll join us for that. Moving on to open access journals, we're continuing work to prepare for upgrades of our hosted journals to OJS version 3.3 later in the spring and summer. Right now, that upgrade project is scheduled to begin just after TCDL, pending the completion of the Dspace work I just was talking about. We're on track for that currently and hope we'll be able to get that started in June. But we'll keep you updated on the scheduling and any information you need about that work as we get going. Our next OJS user group meeting is May 5th. And I wanted to point you all to a new addition to the TDL wiki that is the result of OJS user group work. Justin White from UT-RGV has created a more online friendly version of our guide to starting an open access journal. And if you're working with faculty or folks in your library to start an OA journal using OJS, this is a wonderful resource that the OJS user group created that you can share with them. Okay, now I'm going to switch gears and put on my Courtney Muma hat to talk about digital preservation for just a minute. At the invitation of the Digital Libraries Roundtable of TLA, Courtney will be leading a workshop during the TLA pre-conference next Monday, April 25th. That workshop is called Digital Preservation Demystified, and she'll be sharing strategies there to get focused and get started doing digital preservation. While at TLA, TDL will be hosting an early evening hangout at the Bearded Lady from 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, April 26th. So if you're going to TLA, if you're in Fort Worth or the Dallas area, we really hope that you'll join Courtney and fellow TDL members there. I'm so sad I won't be there, but Courtney will be, of course, and so will Nick Woodward, our awesome software engineer and resident of the Fort Worth area. And they're really excited at the prospect of seeing some of our members in person for the first time in quite a while. So I'm jealous, both that they get to hang out together and with some of you, and we hope that you'll be in attendance. So please let us know if you can make it so that Courtney can have enough space available outside at the restaurant. You can just RSVP by emailing her and letting her know you plan to attend. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Leah next to continue with our service updates.
Thanks, Christy. And I am super jealous too. I really wish I could go, and I hope everybody has a great time in Fort Worth. Good morning, everybody. This is Leah DeForest. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the communications manager with Texas Digital Library. I'm so glad to see you all and that you could join us today. I'm going to provide the next few updates on behalf of Courtney Muma, TDL's Deputy Director, and Elliott Williams, our DPLA Metadata Coordinator. So first up on our research data management front, TDL is working with two excellent folks from the Dataverse community, Dawn Sizemore from the Odom Institute at UNC Chapel Hill, and Jim Myers of the Global Dataverse Community Consortium are working with TDL to upgrade the Texas Data Repository to Dataverse version 5.10 and migrate it to a new operating system. At the same time, Jim's also working on some fixes to Dataverse's integration with DuraCloud, which will enable us to add long-term preservation capabilities to our Dataverse repository. Currently, our dev and training instances of Dataverse have been upgraded, and we have scheduled their work on the production of TDR, on production TDR for April 26th, so next week. All TDR liaisons are welcome to continue testing in our training instance and reporting issues to our help desk along the way, and we'll paste a link to our Dataverse training instance in chat. Progress also continues on our upgrades of hosted Vireo installations to Vireo version 4. Currently, our members at UT Southwestern Medical and Sam Houston State Vireos are in production. Next in line for a move to production are Texas Tech, Baylor, West Texas A&M, and Texas Women's University. And Vireo folks at those four institutions should expect an email from Frank Smutniak, our Vireo tech lead. He should be sending that out this week and telling you what to expect. Additionally, the Vireo Developers Group just concluded a bug fixing sprint, and that resulted in the release last week of Vireo version 4.1.3. This includes a number of important fixes to bugs that have turned up over the course of the initial deployments. And we want to say a big thank you to Kevin Day from Texas A&M Libraries and to Christopher Starcher at Texas Tech Libraries, as well as, of course, our Frank Smutniak for these improvements. So for the hosted Vireo instances that are already in production, Frank is testing an upgrade script currently, and he's going to run on your own Vireo instances, hopefully this week, to get updated to this latest version. Finally, as Christy mentioned before, we're going to start sharing out some of these user group meetings and birds of the feathers. If you'd like to talk with other Vireo users and some of the representatives from our steering committee, we'll be at Tcdl hosting a birds of a feather on Thursday, May 26th at 10 a.m. And we'll drop a link to Sched where you can learn more. And now I get to provide some updates on behalf of Elliott Williams. Elliott has some great outreach underway. He's continuing to reach out to you, to TDL members, about our DPLA aggregation service. He's had some great conversations so far about DPLA and your digital collections. We hope you'll keep an eye out for emails from him if you haven't received one yet. And if you have, and maybe you're not the right person to talk to, please help us connect Elliott with the right folks at your institution. And/or you can just email us and reach out if you're interested in discussing DPLA aggregation. And if you're attending Tcdl, and I really hope you are, I hope you'll join us at the Digital Collections Metadata Birds of a Feather. That'll be on Thursday morning, and Elliott is leading it. This will be a roundtable open discussion about all things metadata and digital collections, with lots of space to talk informally and openly about interesting and challenging digital collections, metadata, and any other topics that you want to discuss in that area. This is going to be one of the last sessions of the conference, so we hope you'll stick around to join us and make a perfect bookend to what will be an awesome conference. And last, we want to point you to a conversation that the Digital Public Library of America is having. They're hosting an online conversation next week about the opportunities and challenges that are presented by the decentralized web for libraries and archives. DPLA has been recently exploring how technologies like blockchain and the decentralized web can be useful for equitable access to knowledge and digital preservation. They're hosting a member meetup on April 28th. It's open to anyone who's interested in these topics. And some of our TDL staff will be joining in the conversation. So we hope we'll see you there. We're going to post a link into chat where if some of these concepts like decentralized web, blockchain, things like that are new to you, we have a link to a really good blog post that helped me kind of wrap my head around some of these concepts. For our OER support service updates, I want to invite anyone who's interested to join TDL's OER ambassadors, who will be hosting an informal and informative roundtable discussion called How to Deal with a Legislative Mandate. And this will take on topics such as implementing mandates like Texas Senate Bill 810, Texas House Bill 1027. We're going to talk about how these folks have built their campus teams, tackled challenges, and forecasted any barriers to their implementation. So this will be a moderated forum / airing of grievances with a Q&A session to follow. I think 3 of us will have brief presentations from our academic librarians on this team, and it should be fun and informative and very low key. Also wanted to let you all know that as members, any of your institutions can join the Open Education Network as an allied member. And what that means is that because of TDL's membership in OEN, your institution can join the OEN and enjoy the same benefits as a full institutional member at a huge discount. And a handful of our members have already taken advantage of this, and my sense is that they're getting quite a bit of good benefit out of it. So this membership would offer programmatic, financial, and collective benefits so that your institution can help develop and sustain open educational practices. You'll enjoy direct access to OEN's full suite of professional development and programmatic support. We'll have a link in chat where you can learn more about that allied membership. And just a sneak peek with the Open Education Network, they're going to be announcing dates for their Summer Institute very soon. And it sounds like they have some really exciting, innovative and members only events in store for us this coming year. So anyone who's interested in open education practices and OER, I hope to see you there. And please contact me if you have any questions around TDL's membership in the Open Education Network or anything about our OER support service in general. I'm really happy to chat with anyone about that. A project update I want to share. We've talked a bit about at our forums about our accessible AV team and their webinars. This group has developed a series of webinars that will help us learn about why and how to make digital collections accessible. We have seen such a great response from folks all over libraries and archives for these past 2 webinars, and I hope you'll continue to join us in this important conversation. One of the ways we would like to see that happen is we invite anyone interested in learning more and sharing knowledge to participate in our AV accessibility profile. This is a survey that's designed to capture some basics around your institution's AV accessibility with the goal of better and broader communication and collaboration in our region. Eventually, this information will be shared on TDL's public wiki for AV accessibility. Another way that we hope you'll join us to continue the conversation is through the Accessible AV Birds of a Feather discussion that will be at Tcdl on Monday, May 23rd. We'll have some links in chat where you can both check out the session at Tcdl and where to share your profile. Okay, I think we're moving into community updates. Okay, this one, I bet Elliott's really jealous he didn't get to give this announcement because I feel really lucky to be able to say how excited I am and proud I am that the UT iSchool Alumni Scholarship for BIPOC students met and exceeded their fundraising goal of $50,000. That means that that scholarship has been officially established and is going to begin distributing to students in fall of 2023. and that'll be through UT Austin's Texas X's Alumni Association. So Elliott asked me to say a huge thank you to everyone in the community who supported the scholarship by either sharing the information or donating. I know as an alum, I saw a lot of emails, and I'm just really proud of the folks like Elliott and others who stepped up to help fill this need. And we have a link where you can learn more, and we'll always take that scholarship will always take donations. So please go ahead and give if you are still interested. Our Research Integrity Working Group is super excited to welcome Reed Bohm, who's the Research Data Management Librarian at the University of Houston, as a guest speaker next week. So Reed has a PhD in information science from the University of Tennessee. She was also a CLEAR postdoctoral fellow in data and software curation for the sciences and social sciences at the University of Notre Dame. And she's going to present to us on research integrity and research data management, the connections, challenges, and advocacy around those topics, discussing research integrity and implications for research data management that will draw on a context from experiences, policies, and different types of research and data practices. So this will be part presentation, part very open and informal discussion. No expertise required. We hope you'll just join us. And we look forward to a lively discussion next week. Anyone is invited. So we have a bunch of member group meetings upon us as usual. We would hope you'll join us as you can. I want to point out tomorrow's Digital Preservation Interest Group is canceled. We're going to catch you at our next scheduled meeting in July. And this month and next, of course, we have these long-standing recurring meetings coming up. But just a reminder that next month you may need to check the schedule for your meetings. Some of them may have moved to TCDL week, either in the form of a user group meeting or a birds of a feather. You're welcome to email me if you have any questions about that, or email your group leaders or chairs. And I think that is it for me. We have a bunch of links to share at the end of the slideshow too, in case we missed any. We had a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I think it's back to you now, Christy.
Awesome. Thank you, Leah. And yes, we have a lot going on. We just talked at you for 30 minutes, the two of us. We filled up the entire time because we just have so much to share. We do have, a couple minutes here for questions. If anybody has one, you can unmute yourself and ask it if you'd like to, or type it in chat. I will note about while you're thinking of your questions, I'll note that the Dspace user group meeting for sure is canceled in May in lieu of that TCDL birds of a feather that we're having. It's sort of at the same time. So if you're part of that Dspace user group, make sure that you don't have the regular meeting on your calendar, but that you are planning to join for TCDL. Yeah, Leah's out of breath and I'm hoarse. All right. And I don't see any questions coming through. So I will just say thank you again to everybody for joining. Thank you to Leah for shouldering the load of all these updates today. And we will see you next time. We're really excited about everything that's coming up over the next month or two with TCDL and everything else. And we're looking forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, if you ever have questions for us, I think you know where to find us. And we hope you will. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.